Before we say goodbye, here's James Harden.
Yeah, freeze. Okay, go ahead.
All right, we'll get started with Michael Grady from Yes Network.
Hey, James, what's the message communication like between players in terms of the mental and the physical adjustments you guys want to make, and even verbal, adjustments you want to make defensively?
It's a little bit of everything. Our communication, our positioning. We haven't really had a lot of practice time, so we're kind of learning on the fly. But I think communication is going to help a lot of that out. It's just constant effort. We got to be more active on loose basketballs, do a really better job of rebounding the basketball, and then do a better job of just keeping our man in front of us. Those are some aspects that we can get better on. And, if we do those things and, the schemes and all the plays, that can, we can figure those out later. But the principles are those small things.
4 games, one sort of practice for you. What has this feel-out process been like for you in terms of, on the floor, facilitating for your new teammates versus looking for your own shot? What has that been like for you?
A little bit of a mixture of both. I got to be aggressive, a little bit more aggressive. But I feel like we're getting open shots. Honestly, our problem is an offense. Like, we scored 113 points tonight, and even last game was more than enough to win the game. I think defensively we have to be more engaged, and we have to round up some more stops consecutively, and that'll make our offense a lot better. So offensively, we're not worried at all. It's our defense.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
James, Steve was talking about defense as an effort issue, as a pride issue. Is it an on-off switch for you guys, or do you think it's something where game by game there are little tweaks that you can make then to add up to something bigger?
Little tweaks. I think just individual, though, just guarding our man, small things like that, putting the body on, as the shot goes up, putting the body on the man to gain rebound, things like that we can control, and then the tweaks will go along with that. And then, as you add on games, then, we put 5 guys in great defensive possession. So, like I said, it'll take time, but I think those small things individually we can correct starting tomorrow.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, James, obviously you went those first couple games playing with just Kevin. What's it like learning to play with Kyrie and figuring that backcourt dynamic out?
That's a process. Obviously, we all know how great Kyrie, of a scorer he is. But like I said, for all of us, not just me, Katie, and Kai, it's all of us have to find a way to lock in and be engaged on the same page. Whatever 5 guys are out there defensively, as much as we can talk about scoring, we're very good at scoring. We got to, round up some stops. And once we get that going, then we'll be, elite on both ends of the ball. But right now our problem is defense.
Back to Malika with ESPN.
James, was there any difference for you in starting in the front court?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Steve Lichtenstein with WFAN.
Hi, James. You talked about guarding your man, but is there anything that you can do scheme-wise to keep ball handlers out of the paint a little better?
We can, but I think individually, we watch film before games. So, we have to take upon the challenge to know who we're guarding, their tendencies and what they like to do, and tonight what killed us, they had maybe point paints. They had 70, points in the paint. That's a lot of points in the paint. So we just didn't do a good job of guarding the ball, and they got into the paint. And, offensive rebounds happen, layups happen, and, just not good things doesn't happen when the ball get in the paint. And tonight we allowed that too much.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey, James, with the schedule being what it is, whatever schematic tweaks you guys would make, there's not a lot of time, a lot of practice time to do that. So is that just a matter of playing through that and having to come to an epiphany on the court?
Tomorrow we got another chance to get better. So I'm sure Coach will have some film for us pregame. Miami is, another great team, especially on the Eastern Conference, and, we're going to have to figure it out. But I think if we're engaged and, we have each other's back defensively, gang rebound, we'll have a chance in any game.
And last question, Matt Brooks with Nets Daily.
Hey, James. We talked quite a bit about on-ball defense. Do you feel like there's anything with help? Is it
Yeah.
rotating over a little bit late as well? Is there anything you've been able to diagnose from where you're at on the floor?
I think, that's a good question. I think just individually, I think our communication, from the other four guys, the guy that isn't guarding the four guys that aren't guarding the ball, has to communicate on where the help is, where to send the dribbler, and to just communicate, have each other's back, and I think once our communication from all five guys are in sync, our defense will be that much better. But it seems like we're on an island, out there, and we have to all do a better job, including myself, of communicating and helping each other out defensively, which, will happen.